Hello, friends, and welcome back to another episode of A Little Bit Woo. We are your hosts, Kirsty and Gemma, and today we have another guest.
Be our guest.
And it is, well, someone who started off as being, well, she's a client, obviously, but has ended up being a good friend too, and someone that I have a lot of respect for in the industry, and it is Emma Malone.
Thank you.
Welcome, Emma. So for the sake of our listeners, I think, right, I'm just going to put some context at the moment. We are currently at Brandy House Farm. We have come here this weekend to watch Kate Sandal's clinic, which is absolutely amazing. So we decided to ambush Emma. So we're currently in the caravan that I have rented for the weekend.
We're holding a hostage.
Holding a hostage, locking the door, and she sat in this gorgeous little chair, and it looks like she's about to be interviewed.
Well, she is technically.
Yeah.
So, for the sake of the listeners,
Yes.
I want to know, firstly, what's your background and how did you get to where you are professionally?
Oh, that's a good question.
I like a good question, me, Emma. We've had plenty of conversations over the years.
I know. My background is, I started off as a scientist, that's ages ago. So my brain works along those lines.
Scientist in...
This was in London. So I worked for the Medical Research Council. Then I worked for GlaxoSmithKline. I did drug development in neuroscience. And then I realised that I really wasn't going to do a PhD to get any further in that company.
Yeah.
If you had a PhD, you got further. So I'd reached my ceiling. And I knew I just didn't have the PhD in me. So I then moved to marketing and PR within the pharmaceutical industry. And I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And when I was there, I started working part-time after I got married because my husband went, "You're working far too hard."
That's very nice of him.
I know. And when I had spare time, the two things that were immovable in my life were horse riding and my Pilates.
Yeah.
So then I got to a bit of a point, some years later, having worked for friends and various things going wrong, then I kind of went, okay, what am I going to do? And the mainstays in my life were horses and my Pilates. So I decided that I would become a Pilates teacher.
Amazing.
That's quite a big shift from being a scientist, isn't it?
Yeah. But I had a few physical issues
Yeah.
that
Made you curious to go down that route.
that made me go down that way. And the reason it happened was we moved to Canada. I had hip issues, and I ended up with steroid injections into my hip.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yep. And first time in my miraculous, and that was on our wedding day, so I could dance. It was really quite serious, so I could dance with my husband. And then second time, not quite so good. Third time, did nothing. So I have a rocky relationship with steroids.
Dancing.
No, that's not rocky.
Dancing's the best thing ever.
I know. So we moved to Canada, and I wanted to do yoga. I did yoga for years, mainly because I had quite a stressful job working in the pharmaceutical industry.
Yeah.
And Keith would always say, I come back a better person, kind of deregulated and kind of came down. But it never challenged me because I am quite flexible. So I just did this Pilates class in Vancouver Island, and I had no idea what it was about, but I've never had a steroid injection since.
Wow.
That is amazing.
So I'm that kind of really sets up how I come about things, is that if you improve functional movement, whether it's horse rider or horse, you can do without a whole load of stuff.
Yeah.
So then I thought, right, my mainstays after having a few things that went wrong, trying to keep the marketing thing going and working for friends and never do that. And I kind of went, well, the things I do is Pilates and horse riding. I didn't have a horse at the time. I rode other people's horses. And I went, sorry?
That's cheaper.
Oh, yeah.
No vets bills.
And I went and did my training with body control because that was the type of Pilates that I did in class. So I did all that training. And then kind of in amongst that, I also started training with Mary Wanless.
So when did you start that?
The Mary Wanless was round about the same time as the Pilates. It kind of happened about the same time, but I had to really focus on my Pilates stuff first.
Yeah.
And it really helped me understand where Mary was coming from.
Yeah.
I really expanded my human body knowledge so I could then really see what Mary was seeing. It really kind of worked quite nicely. And where did I get to? So I did my Pilates, did my Mary Wanless training, and it kind of got protracted, Mary stuff, for far longer than I wanted it to. But I very quickly realised that I needed a backup plan because the way Mary was teaching, I kind of went, not everybody's going to grab hold of this.
Yeah, I get that.
So I kind of went, while I'm trying to figure this out and get clients, I need something else. So Pilates was what I did, and it kind of took over. For a few years, it kind of took over. I built up a business, and it kind of took over. But at the same time, I was learning loads. And I would always go down to Mary's and do teacher training and all that kind of stuff. And then I got to the point where I went to Mary's one time and she went, when are you doing your case studies then, Emily?
No pressure.
No pressure.
You like those case studies?
So she clearly saw that I was ready to do them. And then darn COVID happened.
Yeah.
And that made life a little bit difficult. So when we kind of started coming out of it, I kind of went, I've got to do this now. I really got to do my case studies. And I spent a year being really focused on that, and got my accreditation 2-3 years ago now. Can't remember when. And I got my accreditation. So that's kind of how I got there, to where I am.
Is that Ride With Your Mind?
Yes.
Accreditation?
Yeah. And it's quite interesting because where I am now, I remember being with Mary and somebody said to her, why didn't you not call yourself Rider Biomechanics? And she said, I wish I'd kind of grabbed hold of that and that was my word kind of thing. But actually, when you think about it, ride with your mind, it comes from the nervous system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if your nervous system is out of sync, whether you're rider or horse, you're going to have
biomechanical problems.
Yeah.
Boom.
To the words right in my mouth. Exactly. Do you see what I mean? Yeah. So actually,
well done, Mary.
Ride with your mind still holds very true, but you've got to understand that element of it.
And it's not just ride with your mind. It's the horse's mind as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that's really clever.
Yeah.
Whether she intended it to mean that or not.
I'm not sure quite what the process was. I've read so many of her books now, but I don't think she actually ever kind of said. I got her original book, so that was the other thing. I have her original blue book that she got. I've got 2 versions of it. I've got a hardback version, which one day I must get her to sign because it will be valuable. There's not many of them around.
She's gonna cash it in one day.
But I've got one, and I had it for a long time. And I started, I don't know quite why, but at some stage in my life, something appeared and I went, I'm going to start reading this book.
Yeah.
And then I went, oh God, this is just what I needed. I got to a stage in my riding where, and I'm not ashamed to say it, is I was very much a mechanical rider. I got on the horse, I went, walk, trot, canter, please.
Yeah.
We've all done it.
We've all been there.
Yeah, walk, trot, canter. Not much care in the world as to whether it didn't.
Mm.
You know, please can you just walk, trot, canter?
Mm-hmm.
Then you come across the horse who doesn't do it. And you realise that your skill set is really quite small.
That is true.
And then you realise that you kind of, I certainly got to the stage where I went, is this it? Is this riding? There must be more to it than this. And I think that kind of period was when I started reading this book, and I had it for a couple of years, that I started reading this book and went, okay, there's more to it than this. And that's kind of where I'm at. And I've kind of always now just gone, right, what can I learn today? Where can I push myself?
Yeah. I remember listening to the podcast that she did on the with Warwickshire.
Oh, yeah.
And I could really resonate with her story, because I didn't realise until obviously I listened to the podcast that Mary was a dancer.
Yeah.
And how she could correlate the almost like the rhythmical science, if you want to call it that, or the rhythmical motion of dancing. I can relate to that because I was a dancer when I was younger.
Yeah.
It was I really enjoyed listening to her podcast with Warwick, because it really gave you an insight to how her brain was operating. Yeah. It was quite fascinating, and I could really relate to it because of obviously my background of dancing. So then what's progressed you forward? Because I know.
Sorry?
I don't.
I said I know. Kirsty doesn't know.
I'm sat here like, what's next?
What progressed me?
So you qualified with Mary. You obviously did your Pilates. Then how did you progress? Sorry, I didn't feel like I worded that very well.
So during COVID, the first lockdown, I kind of waffed around. Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean?
That word. I love a waft.
Because it wasn't going to happen.
I just sat in a field for 8 weeks.
But you know, you
started making TikToks.
Oh, I did make TikTok, but I just backed Elmo.
But you know what I mean? You kind of, I never thought it was going to last quite so long.
Yeah, that is true.
You know what I mean? So you just kind of waft. You know, there was no purpose to it, kind of thing.
No.
Second one, and I went, okay,
need to be productive here.
Let me be a little bit productive. So I did Franklin method, and it is amazing, and it reverts back to the nervous system. And so I did Franklin method. I did a diploma in the pelvis and the spine, and I also did the thing they do for the Franklin method balls, because I kind of had been using them, but I wanted a little bit more like concrete going, so anything I'm missing going on here. And then I did the pelvis and the spine, and I'm a level 1 educator.
So for anyone that doesn't know what the Franklin method is, could you explain that a little bit?
Yes. So Franklin method is being created by a very clever gentleman called Eric Franklin, and he really tunes into body awareness and the nervous system, and really looks at bone rhythms. This is the thing that really...
Bone rhythms.
Like a bone rhythm.
And when you get your head around bone rhythms, and that is how... So...
Can you expand on this bone rhythm?
Yes.
I'm in. We're in.
Bone rhythms are... So you think of your femur bone.
Yeah.
And you've got knobbly bits at the bottom.
I love a knobbly bit.
At the bottom of your femur bone. Yeah, you've got your head of your femur in the hip joint. Yeah. And then at the bottom, there are 2 knobbly bits that are attached, that are part of your knee joint. Yeah. And they're 2 different sizes. Yes? So the inside is smaller than the outside. Yeah. 2 knobbly bits. So then the bone rhythm of your femur is to rotate out.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes? So you work with the bone rhythms of the body. And it's easier to get your head around.
Just had an epiphany.
It's easier to get your head around how the bones move in your body than somebody saying to you, can you activate your glute med? If you even knew where that was. Yeah. Yes. Or most people know where their hamstrings are. But you see what I mean? Muscles, you've got 300 odd muscles. Yes. You got, I can't tell you where they all are in my body.
No.
Yes, but you have far fewer bones, and bones don't lie. Bones are where they are. They get pulled by your muscles and disorientated, but bones are bones. You cannot argue with bones. So it's a very good insight into how the body moves. He also uses very good, strong imagery to help you align your bones as a rider.
Cool.
You know, so like sitting here, I can imagine that there's water coming up through my spine and coming up, and that completely changes my posture.
Mm.
So he uses imagery as well. They also do an awful lot of tactile stuff. So the sensory nervous system. So a really good exercise to do is that you just lift your arm up and you lift the other arm up. And you just notice where your range of movement is, and you just notice how it feels.
Yeah.
And then you take the other hand and you start tapping the other arm all over, tap, 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 tap. Then you do a bit of brushing all the way down, and then a bit of squeezing.
Yeah.
And these are all different sensory receptors that you are activating in your body.
Yeah.
So you do that, and you only do it for a minute or so. And then you redo lifting the arm up and lifting the other arm up. And you will feel that this has got far more range of movement, the arm you've just been working on, than the other one. And all you've done is connected your sensory, your proprioception to your brain. And that is really quite a lot of what Franklin method does.
That's super cool.
That is super cool.
I feel like everybody needs to do that now.
Well, it's funny because we've all obviously heard of the Franklin method because it's become quite buzzy and I don't mean that in a disrespectful way, in sort of on mechanical horses. There's quite an uprising of it at the moment, isn't it? But no one's ever, you would just automatically think that the Franklin method is shoving a ball underneath your seat bone and then a couple of straps here, there and everywhere. Or that was my interpretation because obviously I didn't deep dive into the reason. No one's ever explained that. So thank you, Emma. That's really good. So how do you then incorporate it? Because obviously I know because I've had a lesson with Emma. I've been on a simulator with Emma. So how do you incorporate everything into what you do now? So
I am a fan of imagery, but it has to be your imagery.
Oh, I like imagery. That's how I see.
Yeah, so some people like imagery. Some people virtually like, I'm a person because my anatomy is...
Are you a person, Emma? She's a person.
I'm a person who likes anatomy. My brain works with it. Yeah. So for instance, I was in with Mary in April, and she said to me, "What are you doing while you're riding, Emma?" And I went, "That head of my femur is in that hip socket." That's how I could really visualize where the head of my femur was in that hip socket. That's not open to everybody. No. Some people need to go, I need to think that this hip side of my pelvis is over that horse's shoulder.
Yeah. We all think of things differently.
We all think of things differently. So that would be something that I would do with the Franklin method. I would use the balls because they kind of help support something. So a ball might go behind the pelvis to help give somebody an idea as to where their pelvis is so that it's level. Yes, and it gives them the feedback that is what's going on. I use imagery of the diaphragm. Most people don't breathe. It's a superpower.
I believe the same thing in the horses.
Yeah.
And I think that's what limits a lot of horses is the fact that they can't breathe.
Yeah, it's a big old muscle.
And it's so connected to the nervous system.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
And balance.
Yeah.
Everything.
I call it the superpower.
Yeah.
If you can breathe properly, and then be interesting to see, a lot of people are upper chest breathers. They don't really breathe into the belly.
Yeah.
Don't really use their diaphragm.
I feel like I'm breathing more into my diaphragm while we're sat here now. I'm like, she's going to be judging my breath.
No, there's no judgment whatsoever. So I do all of those kind of things and make people, my job is to make them more aware of their bodies on the mechanical horse. And they have to make that picture of what their body, whatever way they need to do it, whether it's anatomy, whether it's imagery, whether it's, something they have to close their eyes and go, this is where I need to be. And then they look at the screen and they go, I'm balanced.
I love that.
I love that you're finding a way that works for individual people, not just
dynamic.
not just having a set you know, tick box exercise with each person that comes in and saying, oh, this is what we do. Because like you say, everybody learns differently. And
I think when it becomes their individual and their personal solution, they're likely to repeat it.
Yeah. Because they felt it.
They felt it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it all comes back to the feeling.
All comes back to
feel.
Yeah.
Because if it's anything done without feel, just becomes mechanical.
Yes.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
And it is having that self-awareness of not only your own body, but the horses. And it's something we've spoke about a lot, isn't it? You lose the feel, you lose.
It becomes mechanical because it just becomes a tick box exercise.
Yeah. So back to my original, when I used to ride, I was mechanical. I was going walk, trot, canter. Yes, I was mechanical. Why are you not doing this anymore?
Yeah.
Why,
I've put my legs on and I've done this and I've done that. Why are you not moving?
Yeah. Now that's mechanical.
Yeah.
And once you step into the world that I live in and we live in, what opens up in front of you, to me, is addictive. And once
agreed 1,000%.
Do you know what I mean? And you can't stop.
But we've seen that this weekend. Like, people have been doing an exercise and then they've been like, oh my God, got really excited and kind of want to carry on with it, don't they? Because they're like, that's amazing. Like, you're chasing the feel, aren't you?
Yeah.
And when you chase the feel, you chase joy.
Yeah. Joy seekers.
We are joy seekers, definitely. One of the things I love about you, Emma, you know I'll gush about you. I like gushing. I believe in
I'm not very good at gushing.
I am a massive believer in the art of paying people compliments. What I love about you, Emma, is not only, obviously I've been a part of your journey for many years as your saddle fitter and friend, and we have deep dived down many rabbit holes. What I love, especially following you on social media, is the fact that you are so vulnerable in sharing your story with your horses.
Yes.
And I really, really respect that and appreciate it, because we need more people sharing. Well, you know, we are the three of us are all professionals, but we all have our horses, and our horses come with their own set of issues, and we have our own set of issues, physically, mentally, and emotionally. And I love how sharing your vulnerability not only inspires and empowers me, but I'm sure inspires and empowers so many other people.
Yeah, I think that was, I don't know quite how that came about, but I kind of took a big leap into that vulnerability side of things, because I think we can sugarcoat stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't, that's, you know.
But when you sugarcoat stuff, you're not being real, are you?
No.
And I think people respect you more for being real.
Yeah.
Otherwise, well, it comes back to integrity again, doesn't it? Like, you're not being integral if you're not being real, are you?
But I do think that the you know, these horses that come into our lives teach us something.
Oh, absolutely.
Whether we think we don't know it. We don't know it when we buy that horse.
Yeah.
What is going to happen?
Yeah.
What are you going to teach me? But
how long have you had Fiddle for now?
Coming up to 4 years in October, I think. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. But we had about a year and a half where we did what I kind of bought her to do, which was we went to clinics and did various things, and we travelled around, went down to Mary's twice, we went over to Derbyshire, I went and did stuff at Liverpool, at Knowsley,
with Lucy.
No, Charlotte Whitbum.
Yeah.
She was one of the first people I went to, because it was like a nice short distance from, within Cheshire. I did that. She ticked all those boxes. But I couldn't deny during all that time there was something not right.
Yeah.
And about 14, 15 months in, she was right. It was like riding a bag of ferrets. It was just awful. And I went, okay, I can't do this anymore. I can't ignore this. And I've been on a journey since then. And she did come with issues that I was aware of, but I didn't really appreciate. I was naive to think that, this would be solved with a bit of better training. And, you know, the ideas in my head were peripheral to what actually she needed.
Yeah.
So we've been on this journey for, and she's getting better.
She is getting better.
She's getting better.
She was
Definitely.
sent to you for a reason, as they all are.
And I'm grateful for her.
Yeah.
Grateful for
They're
her.
sent to teach us lessons, aren't they?
And I
you
love
get the
her.
horse that you need, not the horse that you want, sort of thing.
Yeah.
You know, how much will that have helped you to grow by having Fiddle?
Yes.
Just by learning through her.
Yeah. Exactly.
I love that. I love that a lot. Well, I mean, obviously, I've been a part of the journey, and I've watched you and Fiddle. And what's lovely is now how much better she's getting. And then, you know, you like you say, you think you're there, and something crops up, and it's like flipping heck, and then something crops up again. But do you know what? The lovely thing is that having a growth mindset and having that we've got to figure this out, however way. And what I also love about you, Emma, is that you're a knowledge seeker, but you're very dynamic in that. And I'm sure we've spoke about it before. I'm a firm believer in you build your toolkit as big as you can possibly build it. And don't put yourself down one rabbit hole and stick with that. You've got to be sort of a lot more dynamic in your approaches. So tell us, and I think it's really good. I mean, I already know the answers because I follow you, but for the sake of the viewers, the viewers.
Can they see us?
Maybe I'm manifesting it for the future. Imagine if it...
on a big hat and my glasses.
Yeah. She's coming in incognito.
Prince Riviera again.
So for the sake of the listeners, what are you doing now to help Fiddle?
Oh, okay.
The reason why I'm asking is obviously I know the answers, but I think we are, both Kirsty and I, obviously Kirsty and me, you're you.
Yep.
And we are deep diving into a lot of holistic spheres, not only in our own self-development, but also with our horses. Yeah. And I think, you know, we're the ones that are out there helping people. And sometimes people need to know there's more vast varieties than just sticking down one place. So, okay.
So if I just go back before she managed to prance around in the field and injure herself.
Yeah.
We spent last summer doing a course called Fundamentals of Balance, which is actually quite similar to what we're doing here, which is based on French classical training, but very simplified.
Yeah.
And for various reasons, I spent 3 months doing that with her.
Yeah.
And I try not to get too emotional about it all, because a week before she did her prancing exercise, I had her physio out.
Yeah.
And her physio went, "Oh my God, Emma, what are you doing? Because this is brilliant. This is the best I've seen her."
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like I had, the way I explain it is, I have the 4 corners of my horse.
Yeah.
There are 4 legs that I can feel.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You've got a 4-poster bed.
Yes, I've got a 4-poster bed. And she gave us, and Yasmin helped me, and we had a ridden lesson, and I just kind of went, oh, this is the best. I've got something that I can work with. They then spend a lot of time repairing her, and we come out of winter.
Can you just explain to the listeners what's happened?
A new boy arrived in the yard, and she pranced around and quite liked Rupert, and pranced around so much that she did her check ligament.
Flipping horses.
All for a man.
Are they really worth it?
A younger man.
Maybe.
And you know, hindsight's a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
But so then we had to do a lot of box rest, a lot of walking, you know, restricted turnout. We had a little bit of a blip where the walking was too much too soon, so we had to go back to box rest and blah, blah. So then when she came out, I was acutely aware of a braced position in her body.
Yeah.
There was a lot of holding because of course, you know, you're on box rest and all that kind of stuff. And the lady who does the Fundamentals of Balance course is a lovely person called Annie Dillon. And she, at the same time we were merging out of, it was kind of a bit serendipity, the whole thing.
Yeah.
She had started doing Equine Hanna somatics. And she was posting on Facebook the changes.
Yeah.
And I was going, oh my Lord. And I went, okay, I'm going to give this a try, see what this does. And it works on the nervous system.
Mm-hmm.
Right up your street then.
Sorry?
Right up your street.
Right up my street, exactly. Worked on the nervous system. And I kind of went, okay, let's see what goes on here. And you can buy a little short introductory course. So it's like a video that you can buy. Yeah. Which is about an hour long. And it gives you the basics kind of thing to work on. And I started doing it. And it's very interesting. I read a post probably a year ago, 2 years ago, where a lady said she had an instructor come to see her. And this instructor had traveled like 2-3 hours to come. And the heavens had opened. And she said there was no way we were going to have a lesson in the arena because it was just, you know, impossible. So they spent their lesson lifting up the legs of the horse and noticing how they put the foot down. And this feeds up into the motor cortex, which is their movement, that controls movement in the horse. And when you lift up the horse's legs, you are accessing at least about 16 postural muscles in each leg.
Yeah.
Yes. But the key to it is the letting the horse put the foot down gently, because then you're speaking to the motor cortex. If they stamp it down, that's a reflex.
Yeah. Yeah.
You want to be training the body map from the brain to the feet. You want to create a body map, a nervous system map.
I do this exercise, but I've not been taught it. I just started doing it.
No one's reinventing the wheel, babe.
I do find this, that somebody shows me a thing and I'm like, oh, I already do that. I just went there one day.
What's that? What's that for you?
I'll just keep doing things like that then.
So you start off, that's your pre-thing of starting off, and then you do, flexion and extension of the legs, and adduction, abduction, and then you do a little nuzzle up and a little lateral flexion, and there's another element which I haven't got to yet, and each time. And Fiddle, needless to say, was standing over, her head was standing over onto her left fore, which she had damaged. I started doing the nuzzle lift and the lateral flexions, and Fiddle now stands
Amazing.
And when I first did it, I have got posts on and the picture I took, I cannot unsee it anymore, because it's like she's given me a posture I've never seen from her. So all I ever did was the limb movements for a long, long time. You know, I've only been doing it for the last month, but what I started off doing was the limb movements. So you do the initial pickup and then you do these limb movements. And I took 2 pictures. I took a picture at the beginning and I took a picture at the end. And lo and behold, did she not just come up from her withers and her head just crested forward. I went, you've never done this. And this is all nervous system work. So when you've got the nervous system on board, your nerves and your muscles, the first thing that comes, the muscles don't work unless you've got a nervous system with integrity that is doing the job that it should be doing.
Yeah.
And so, and I just
sit in the fascia.
Yeah. So I combine it with fascia as well to do a little bit of fascia release and everything else. And I'm kind of a little bit guided by her.
I love that.
But that's how it should be.
Yeah. Yeah. And then she follows me around, and I don't ask her anything. Go, right, where are we going to go in the arena? I'll follow you. Where do we go? We're not allowed to eat the little nibbly things on the side, which would be her go-to. Or we're not allowed to make a beeline to the gate either, which is also her go-to. I will tell a family story. When I first got her, I had a lesson. We were riding around and we had stopped at the gate and we were chatting, and Rebecca and me, and I said, Rebecca, I think I'm leaving. And Fiddle had got hold of the gate and had opened it and pushed it open, and I was walking out.
I think I'm leaving.
I think I'm leaving.
I'm going, gone.
Going.
So she always makes me laugh. She always makes me laugh.
Oh, I love horses with personality.
Oh, horses with personalities. So that's where that's where I'm at the moment, and that's where my kind of and I spoke about it earlier with you guys, is where my kind of thought process or my way of looking at horses is. And I appreciate I have a horse with a character, but I want every horse to be joyful and to show their spirit and their character.
Absolutely.
I think every horse has a character, just like every human has a character.
Yeah.
But
we shut it down.
We shut it down.
We shut it. We're
and
frightened.
Make them mechanical.
We're frightened for them to show and express and joy. Yeah. I want that joyful horse.
Yeah.
Now, for me, that comes from working on the body and the mind.
Yeah.
So there's a bit of a full circle thing going on.
Love it.
And so sometimes you have to work on the mind.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have to work on the body first, or vice versa, whatever, in order to access that the real personality of that horse.
Can I ask you a question? Obviously, I'm going to ask it you anyway. When you say work the mind, what does that mean for you?
That means...
That's a good question, Jenna.
Yeah, that's a very good question. That really means to me the nervous system. So we've seen horses today, in the last, where their nervous system, and they're kind of like, where's my mate, where's my mate, where's my mate? And their nervous system's gone a little bit on high alert. And I think they're on their sympathetic. I'm going to get them mixed up. Yes, thank you. They're on their sympathetic nervous system.
Fight and flight.
Yeah. Parasympathetic's not got to look at. Got to find a balance where they both are there. You don't want one and you don't want the other. You want them both working.
Balance.
In balance.
Yin and yang.
Yin and yang. So that's how I look at it. I also want them to be working functionally. So it's back to my whole thing about Pilates and working functionally. But a horse will only work functionally if they know where their feet are, where their sensory position of their bodies are, their proprioception.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because if you don't know where your limbs are, how do you know whether your knee bends?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
If you don't know where it is.
Yeah.
So there's a very good...
how can you feel safe in your body if you don't know where your body is?
Yeah. There's a very good exercise. There's a very good exercise you can do. It's from the Feldenkrais, and I used to do it with my Pilates clients. It's from the Feldenkrais method. And I got them lying on the floor, and I got them to draw their bodies as if it was a stick insect. So like a matchstick body.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Then we do some releases, and then they go, I've got my left leg back. Yes. Yeah. So we do some, and so Feldenkrais is also very motor and cortex driven.
Yeah.
And so they go, I know my left leg. Mm. And you'll be interested when you ask people, riders and things like that, what side of their body do they feel most? And they will answer you. They'll be surprised at how many people go, I have no idea what the left side of my body's doing.
Yeah. I speak about it in one of our podcasts that I go for Rolfing. And I remember one time she said to me, tell me where your pelvis is without looking down. And I was like, I don't know. I don't know if it's inflection, extension, neutral. And that comes back to an injury I had 8 years ago, like more than that now, where I got thrown off and they thought I'd broken my pelvis, which I hadn't. But obviously my brain will have shut down to my pelvis to protect me from the pain and things.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
8 years I'd been riding horses and living like that, not even knowing where my pelvis was in time and space.
And Kate said a really interesting thing, I think it was yesterday, she said, it's quite an interesting reversal of a question that I asked, and I thought it was really good. She was saying, tune into the part of the body that you know.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah.
Start with something you know.
Start with something that you know.
Mm.
Yeah.
So I thought that was a really good into people's bodies.
To learn how to feel into your body.
Yeah.
And then you can start to feel for the bits that are offline.
So I remember last September, I was riding a cob at teacher training with Mary. And I said to Hannah, I went, I got no right side of this horse. This right side of this horse just went away. And she went, oh yeah. sorry, Emma. But if I wasn't aware of it, that right seat bone would be going down and going, searching for the horse. And I went, there's a bit of a cliff.
It's hanging on for dear life.
Cliff.
But you see what I mean? But that's where things like the Franklin method, that's where Feldenkrais comes in. That's where imagery comes in. It's, and you find a route into somebody's brain and body that goes, could you say to me, I've got no right side of that horse?
Yeah. You've got a lot of little golden nuggets in your treasure chest.
Treasure chest.
Treasure chest. What the hell? I can never say that. So
do you see how I've come to that place? It may change, but at the moment, and I think that's fine. I think that's also fine that you change because you're forever evolving.
Yeah.
I was reading a book this week, and the gentleman was talking about self-education, and I think there's an element of us, and I do it, but I didn't do it consciously because I love learning.
Yeah,
I love. I used to work with a guy. And I used to come home to my husband, Keith, and I used to tap the dinner table and go, guess what I learned today? Kind of thing. And he's become a mentor to me. And he was just one of these Stephen Fry type individuals, and he's just got this wealth.
One that you want to shrink down and put in your pocket and just get out and consult.
Yes. Yeah. And so I used to go, guess what I learned today? And this was from my friend David. And, but so I'm always the one I love to learn.
Yeah.
But I'm also very conscious of the fact that we as individuals, we go through education that is structured for the better or good, depending on how you look at it. I think it doesn't allow us to be creative. And then we leave education and we think we're done.
True.
Yeah.
We think we're done. I'm not doing exams. I'm not doing that. That doesn't mean you have to do exams and everything else. But you've got to kind of go, I'm now responsible for my own education, self-education. Yeah. What am I going to do all of those things?
Mm-hmm.
You're following the feel of your self-creation. Why do I come out with these little nuggets?
I'm loving this. I've never done a podcast before. This is fantastic.
This is why we really like it. Especially when it's not planned.
No.
You just go, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, what I want to know, well, what's next?
I was going to ask that question.
Do you want to ask the question?
What's next?
What's next? I think at the heart of it all is, I'm going to get a little bit emotional about it all, is I want the best for Fiddle.
Yeah. And you're allowed to have that feeling.
I want the best for her. I want to come out of this. I want to move on to something that we can work with. I'm not wanting, the perfect horse doesn't exist.
Nope.
It doesn't exist. But I want to get back to where we were October of last year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And going, okay, I've got 4 corners of a horse. What can I do now with her?
Yeah.
I want to get back to that place.
Yeah.
So that's my own kind of, universe help me out kind of thing. And then I want to explore more of this somatic type work.
Mm-hmm.
Have you been on, I know that obviously I know that Helen Thornton's worked with Fiddle, but have you been on her courses?
No, and I might well do that. The problem I have is she does it on days where I go, darn it, Helen, I'm doing something that weekend.
Just tell her to move it.
She comes and help, she does all her stuff with Fiddle, and she's very, very good. And I know she does the somatic stuff as well. And that will probably be on my list for sure. I've just got to figure out a date. I don't go to that part of the country, Lincoln.
It's a nice part.
Is it Lincolnshire?
Yeah, Lincolnshire. Yeah.
I don't go to that part of the country, but I'll figure something out. Because of what's and this is what I kind of have a real passion for, is there's so much out there There is so much out there, but one has to ask a question. How has it affected my horse? Has it made a difference? Because lots of people go, oh, very good. And I'll ask, what is it? And I want to know why it's very good. And it becomes
what change did it make in your
and there's
horse
a vacuum.
for it to be
there's
very
a
good?
vacuum from that question. There isn't a concrete thing.
Not just gave you biscuits.
Yes, it's all very.
It's that feel over function, isn't it?
Yes.
It's you're asking the question to the client or the rider, whatever rabbit hole they might have jumped down, or they've gone down this particular path, and it's that, isn't it?
Yeah.
How is it help? It's getting them to sit into the feeling of how did it help the horse, not the function. Coming out with some nuggets today, aren't I?
I feel like I'm going to need to plug you in to recharge.
After the week I've had. No, I need all the plugs.
Laying you out on the ground later.
So why do you think I kept getting on the floor today? I was like, ground me.
But so all this somatic work, I have seen what it has done to Fiddle. There is no doubt in my mind that there is a positive effect on her body that I have never seen, and it's for the good.
Yeah,
I love
that.
Yeah,
I love that. And are you hoping that will over time come into you, like professionally? You're going to try and bring it in?
Yeah. Yeah. I just got to try and figure out how to do it.
That's fine.
Well, you just follow the feel and not the function.
Well, I'm also a great believer. I can't believe I'm saying all of these things.
I love it.
I'm also a great believer that there's a plan.
You do realise that this is called The Little Bit Woo, this podcast.
Yeah. I know, that's why I'm mentioning it. But there's a plan. If you fight it, you shouldn't fight it.
No.
And it actually, when you don't fight it, it gives you space.
Yeah.
And life becomes an awful lot simpler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just go with it.
And you learn to go with it. The minute you start controlling it, things go wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So this weekend, things kind of trying to organise, rebook myself onto this weekend. Things went a little bit awry and kind of went, okay, right, fine. I just went, no, I'll just pass it over and it'll work out fine. And you just, the worry, the all of that just goes and you just go.
It's the surrender.
Yeah.
We all have to adopt a more, surrendering into that. I think we're naturally, as humans, become more conditioned into micromanagement, isn't it? With our horses, us as people. And I think the more we go into our own self-development journey, it's that, isn't it? It's leaning into the surrender of the outcome.
Yeah.
And then that takes away the expectation.
Yeah.
Who am I?
And then that gives us the energy then to be able to do the things we should be doing. We're not wasting
and then
the
it brings it all back to joy.
I love how we're singing like on karaoke. We're sharing a microphone.
Yeah. So that's kind of where I kind of stand. That's kind of, I'm quite happy with it as well. But it's taken a long time of, having conversations with myself. Yeah. Kind of not looking outwardly.
Yeah. Yeah.
And thinking, oh, I should be doing this, I should be doing that.
Well, we've said before, haven't we, that the more work we do on ourselves, the better horse people we become.
Yeah.
And that's what I've found in the last few years.
Yeah.
The more I've worked on myself.
I've got another question. Oh, God, we're off again. I know that Mary mentions a lot about breath work, and that's something that I obviously believe in from doing meditation and stuff like that. And I know that's something that you've been diving into a lot.
Yeah.
Can you explain and for me, it's the reason why I'm asking the question, because I am always intrigued to know what people's perceptions and interpretations of things are, because I actually think that helps with our own personal growth as well.
Yeah. Okay, that's a good question.
I've got loads of good questions.
So, I'm going to mention a lady called Holly Barnett.
She's a friend of Yasmin's.
Yes. And she's in Toronto, Canada direction. And she's one of those people that I kind of followed a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then she started doing a thing called intero breath, where she focuses on the fascia through your breathing. But then she kind of then has a little bit of a focus maybe on your pelvis, or, she has a little thing, the immune system, all that kind of stuff. And it bore out of a health crisis that she went through. And, oh my God. See, when you do one of her sessions, and I do it up in our ensuite, because I have to kind of disappear into a quiet area in our house. My husband will wonder what the hell I'm doing. And I come out of it, and my body has changed all over. And all I've done is spent 45 minutes listening to Holly guide us through using our breath and our body, and guide us through our bodies for 45 minutes.
And tuning you back into your body.
Yeah. And I walk much easier. We all have a little niggle and pains. I'm a woman of a certain age, but it all goes. That's how powerful the breath is.
Yeah.
That's how powerful the breath is.
Yeah.
Okay, so I also want to mention something else that I've done with Holly.
Mm-hmm.
So I've done the intro breath thing, not that regularly, but every time I've done it, it's been amazing, and I thoroughly recommend you explore it. She also did a thing in the winter months when you're kind of wondering what am I going to do. She did a thing called the heart horse experience, which is all about your heart having a connection with your horse's heart.
Yeah.
Through your breathing, having no judgment, no expectations, because horses live in a world where they are being judged, because they're going, why are you not doing this? Why are you not doing that? So you don't have any judgment, and you sit and you it's called heart coherence. There is an institute, it's all science-based, the Heart Coherence Institute. It's also science-based. So I'm not talking, because everybody, this is where you kind of go, this is all a little bit woo-hoo, but
we love woo.
But it's science.
It's science.
Yeah.
And I did it with my other mare. So I've got a lady, and she lives in a field with her chums. And some days she will come with her Darren to get her feet done, and some days she won't. And I have to kind of phone Darren and go to your next client. She's not coming in.
It's usually me.
So I've been doing the heart coherence, and the first one that I did with her was about February time. And it must have been all later than that, about March, because they'd gone into a field, they'd gone out to their winter field, and they'd gone into a field that had been rested over the winter. So there's quite a lot of grass. She was also in her first season, and she wouldn't come anywhere near me. And I looked at her and I went, oh, it's the boys, because the boy field was within vision. She's prancing up and down the fence line, and then she put her head down and go, oh, do I eat grass? Oh, I'm going to prance up and down the field line. There's boys. Oh, but can I eat grass? And I could see the torment in her whole thing. Yeah. I was not in the picture in any shape or form. So I just stood.
Boys are food.
Boys are food. So I just stood, and I just went into my heart. I just listened to my heart beating, slowed it right down. I didn't look at her, and I just kind of grounded myself. No expectation. She came to me, put the halter on, and off we go.
Fab. It's a visualized meditation.
Yeah.
To center connection.
And then the other one was, I usually go with a carrot or something. And this was another day where she decided, no, I'm not doing this. But all her chums were all around me, and she was on the outside of the herd, and she didn't like that. So I walked off, and I went to the gate, and I did my heart coherence with the things, and they all lowered their nervous system, and they all kind of checked out, and they were all kind of, in a lovely state. She was on the outside going, oh, I'm not liking this. And she went round and followed me to the gate, and I put the halter on.
Love that.
That's lovely.
And that was for the vet. And I said to the vet, oh, you managed to catch him? And I went, yeah, it's only taken me 14 years to figure out what it is that I have to do for her to connect with me. And I've always felt like we were always really quite connected, but she always had this element of her that when she's quite an independent girl. Oh, no, not today, Mum. No, don't bother me. No. And she, there was always that little bit of no. And then there's times where she just wouldn't leave my side. So we've always had this, she's very independent lady, very independent. And I probably gets it from me. But, there are times when the independence gets in the way. So I'm not chasing her. I'm not playing that game. I'm not chasing her. I'm going and taking it down to me. I'm grounding myself, thinking about my breathing, thinking about my heart, lowering the heart rate. And when you lower your heart rate, the horse then has got that invitation to come to you.
Yeah.
Love that.
Cool.
Love that.
So do you want to tell everybody how they can find you, where you're based?
I am based in Cheshire, so I keep fiddle at Rocking Horse Farm, which is in Croton, but I do all of Cheshire. I go to North Wales. I've got quite a nice little clientele building up in North Wales. So I go to Equity once a month and then go to a private yard, kind of Denbigh direction. So I'm getting a nice little group of people in North Wales. Do Cheshire, and I also do mechanical horse lessons at Racewood. I live about 10 miles from Racewood HQ, where you can sit on the most advanced mechanical horses there is and have a Felden, anything you want to improve your position, your awareness. I prefer to say that my job is to improve your awareness and your proprioception as to where your body parts are, and that will help your riding more than anything else.
Yeah, definitely.
And how can people follow you as well on socials?
Oh, social media. So,
website.
Website is effectiveriding.co.uk.
Okay.
A year ago, I got hacked on Facebook, and I used to be this lovely little succinct Emma Malone equestrian, but the teenage.
We won't talk about that.
So I've now had to change it to Effective Riding with Emma Malone equestrian.
And that's just on Facebook?
I'm just on Facebook. I'll try and do something on Instagram. Don't even think about TikTok. It's bad enough as it is, but at the moment TikTok, I'm predominantly on Facebook.
Facebook. Right. Well, I think you all definitely need to give our gorgeous Emma a follow. And I think we'll wrap it up there, because how long have we been going for? We've been going for an hour.
Told you.
See, I told you.
We'll be ready.
It's time for dinner.
I know, told you.
Perfect timing.
Gemma and I get together, and I know Kirsty, and we just go, meow.
And I'm sure we'll be inviting you back on, because now my little brain's going, oh, we need to talk about this, or we need to deep dive into this one. But thank you, Emma. Thanks.
Oh, no, thank you.
Thanks for being our second guest on
and
the
thank
pod.
you for you're my first podcast.
Yay!
I've never done this before. It's lovely. I love it.
Do you know what though? This is what it's about. This is what we wanted to do when we set up A Little Bit Woo, is to champion our fellow professionals, and we learn just as much from having these chats.
Can I have a CPD certificate for today?
But do you know what? And this is why we do it. We love the chats.
Yes.
We then get to speak openly about stuff, and then that then not only empowers us, but empowers other people too.
I've had so many light bulb moments just through this chat. Going,
absolutely. And this is why we want to develop the Little Bit Woo community.
And I've said to you, one of the things that I don't consciously do it. It's never really been in my head to consciously do it, but I found that by the way I am, I empower. The best thing I can do is empower the rider to do stuff on their own. I want to do myself out of a job.
Yeah.
It's exactly how we feel.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what aligned professionals should be doing. We should be collaborating to empower people to be able to do the best they can do for their horse. And yeah.
Don't rely on me. Don't rely on me. I'll give you the information. I will educate you and I will help you. But I want you to be able to do it without me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The best thing that could happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, Emma Malone, everyone. Well, thank you so much, as always, for listening to today's episode. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Share it with your friends. Get everyone to join the community. And we will see you next Tuesday for a little bit more woo, woo, woo.